Life's infinite intelligence is always working through you. Hello, beautiful souls. It's a beautiful day in the natural world, and I'm here to call forth in you the feeling of the sacred qualities of life itself. I trust that through watching this, what I feel here and now in this moment will ignite these qualities already within you, and you will benefit and you will build upon it in your own way from the sacred life that you are. If you're like me, maybe you have been in a difficult situation, difficult life situation, where you might find yourself looking at the content of life and sort of asking yourself, why is this happening? How does this work? Why is this happening to me? And it is so natural for human beings to get caught up in the content of life, in what is actually happening, literally like the physical events. And it's also natural for our minds to create stories in our thoughts, in our feelings, and in the sort of sensory perceptions in our bodies. And these processes of thoughts, feelings, our body's experiences, our story is, they are actually not where life is, right? Life itself is in a place that is beneath these stories, beneath these experiences. And if you drop down for a moment, beneath thoughts, beneath feelings, even beneath the sensory perceptions in your body, just for a moment, into the life that you are, that there is a process of breath, that there is a process of the heart beating, and there is a process of the blood flowing through your body. That's actually where the life that you are is. That is where life lives. It lives in you. Life itself actually cannot live in the content of it or of the stories of our minds, our feelings, those sensory perceptions in our bodies. Life doesn't stay there. Life stays as who you are. And when I come out into the natural world, and I might find myself caught up in what life is not, and then I come out here, and there are no other things. I look around, and all I see is the purity of life. And I see reflected back to me my own breath in the wind, the air. I see reflected back to me my heart beating in the aliveness of the creatures out here. I see reflected back to me the blood flowing in the way the river flows. And then I go, oh, that's what I am. That's what life is. This is where life lives. And I'm reminded that the life out here is the same as the life in here. And I forget. And then I come out here and I remember, and then I can go back into my day-to-day life, the content of it. And I can meet the content of day-to-day life, including thoughts, my thoughts and feelings and sensations in the body. I can meet it from the life that I am. the breathing, heart beating, blood flowing, life force that I am, and that you are, and that is always flowing through you. And sometimes we can sort of lose trust in that process, that that flow is always happening, that there is always this sort of infinite intelligence, this process of expansion and contraction and flow. And when I come out here, I remember how reliable that process is of life, and how, regardless of fears or doubts or, whatever the content of our lives might be, that the underlying process of life, it never stops. It keeps flowing, even after we've died. There is a renewal, there is a transformation of all of that energy, all of those processes, and it's always happening. This is the life that you are, that we all are. And so even in our moments where we're sort of wondering, looking at the content of our lives or the content of our thoughts or feelings or sensations in our body, and maybe we feel a bit bogged down by that noise, when I come out into the natural world, I get to drop beneath the noise, and I get to be where life actually lives. And I get to carry with me this sacred quality of the trust in the flow and the aliveness of life always happening, always serving us. And I get to go back into my life and say to that content, whatever might be happening, I wonder how the flow of life is going to meet this, with its infinite intelligence, with its heart beating, and its breath breathing, and its blood flowing. So I wish you more and more of what's already here and now in this moment, in the wisdom of the sacred qualities of life itself.